Gotta say, I'm pretty pleased after that effort there against Ole Miss. Before I talk specifically about the game, I'll be honest and tell you guys what I thought going into this one. Um, I was very worried about this game coming into it. I felt that we don't really you're not proving too much when you're playing Wyoming, especially when you're playing New Mexico. I didn't even talk about that last game, mainly because they're both on Longhorn Network and I had to see bits and pieces of them. But I really expected to win. Expected the Horns to win tonight. But I expected to be extremely upset, extremely frustrated, because I haven't seen the offense run that crisp before, and I expected, the last couple of years where it's just a patchwork offense that some plays work, most plays don't, and the games that the Horns win would be won merely because they had better athletes than some of the teams that they've beat. Tonight was not that case. It was the case, the fact that we did have better athletes than Ole Miss tonight, and that was clear. And I want to give Ole Miss a lot of credit. The fans for Ole Miss a lot of credit. I mean, they were pumped coming in as well, understandably, and they continued that way even when early on it showed that Ole Miss really didn't stand a chance. But they really showed a lot of character. Bo Wallace kept coming out there. He threw a couple of picks, but he kept playing hard. There at the end, you kind of saw it when the game was over, and the Horns were kind of driving just to run the clock out, and it looked like we were just going to, barrel in for a touchdown. They really stood up and kept us out of the end zone for that one play and drove our running back back out of the end zone. And then Mac decided to take a couple knees and get us out of there with that 66-31 win. But overall, man, very impressed with Texas. No, this is not the same level of competition we're going to be going up against in the conference, but just the offense seems to have an identity now, and that's what I'm so pleased about. Is the fact that we're a run-first offense, power football. We've been talking about this for 2 years now. And even though Ole Miss does not have the same size of the athletes, which is a lot of the reason that Texas was able to run over them, we've seen, Longhorns fans the last couple of years, we've seen this team try to run the football against bad teams and not able to do it. Tonight, very, very proficient. But really the guy of the night for me, of course, Malcolm Brown, Joe Bergeron, they're going to be the standouts, and Goodwin, his athleticism. David Ash, man, really grew up a lot tonight. And I've been pretty critical about just the whole quarterback situation in general with Texas. Not necessarily the guys under center, but the scouting and just you look around the league and you see these legit quarterbacks, and it seems like the Horns, ever since Colt, haven't been able to get that guy in there. Ash was what he needs to be for the Longhorns, which is a threat. The star of this offense is that line and those backs. We have very talented wide receivers, and now we know that we have a quarterback who can get the ball down the field and can find those guys when they get open. So they can't just stack the box against us. So, very pleased with that. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this offense can do against a better defense when it comes to that in conference play. Now for our defense. Overall, you can tell this defense is very talented. They're tenacious. Okafor going back there. We had like 6 sacks in the first half. Quandre Diggs had 2 picks. The defense does well, and I think a lot of this tonight had to do with them getting relaxed, which I don't want to see happen. Way too many big plays given up, and that's been happening against Wyoming. They did the same thing. They stayed in their lanes against New Mexico, but New Mexico is a triple option team. They don't even run that very well. But Wyoming got a couple big plays on us. Ole Miss, all their touchdowns were big plays. And that can't happen. We gave up 31 points tonight. I know we scored 66. But Oklahoma and West Virginia, when they get those buckets, it's not going to be in garbage time. I mean, they're going to be doing it when the game's on the line. And we can't be scoring touchdowns and having the other team immediately answer us right after that. So overall, the defense is going to be fine. We know the defense is going to be okay. That's probably our most skilled part of the football. But and you saw Mac, and maybe it's even a good thing that you kind of saw those little laxes, because that's something they're going to be talking about going into this bye week, talking about when you go up against Oklahoma State. But overall, very pleased. I like the fact that, and I said this earlier, the team seems to have an identity. They know what they want to do on the offensive side of the ball. And that's all I've been asking for. I know we're not going to get back to the days of Vince Young. We're not going to get back to the days of Colt McCoy with that kind of offense. But that's not the only kind of offense that can win in this league. And I think that if we play like this, I want to see us play against some real competition. Ole Miss is young. Ole Miss is building. And I think that for Ole Miss fans, they can take out of the fact that it looks like they have a good group of guys to build around. They're just young and just not on the same level with the Texas athletes. And you even heard, the head coach for Ole Miss before the game even started, he even said he didn't expect to win the game. He felt that they had a couple of years away before they can compete with a team like Texas. But they played hard, and it was a good showing for the Horns to go up against those guys in that kind of environment. Now take it to the next level at Stillwater. Who knows what Oklahoma State's going to bring? Because when they play bad teams, they've been blowing them out. And then they go into Arizona against a Pac-12 opponent, and they get blasted in the fourth quarter. I think their quarterback right now is being banged up. He probably won't be playing against us. I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens with that one. But right now, Longhorns fans, after 3 weeks, 2 weeks of 2 games that really don't prove anything, this one does show us a little bit what we can expect. Hopefully, expect for the rest of the season, and see if we can compete against in this Big 12. A lot more confidence as a fan that I have in this team. So. Looking forward to Big 12 play get started, get that bye week under us, and then get into Big 12 play. So good showing by the Longhorns, beating up on Ole Miss, and we'll see you guys later. Hook 'em Horns.